Welcome back. We've got Chef Anthony Fisher in the studio again with us this morning with a awesome Valentine's Day recipe. And you've already stole my heart because you pulled out the cast iron.
Of course, you got to have a nice piece of cast iron. And I've been asked since we started doing the show, where do you get all your stuff? Where do you buy?
Yeah, I mean, you've got a cool Coleman stove, you've got a torch lighter, cast iron pan.
Everything I use, I get over at Allied Restaurant Supply in Joplin because it's open to the public, it's reasonably priced, and their stuff is really high quality.
Okay.
So you can spend as much there as you can at any other chain store, but you get 3 times the amount of quality. So we're going to use some beautiful cast iron today. We're going to do a heart-shaped ribeye with the compound butter we made this morning and shrimp. So we're going to do surf and turf for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And guys, this is super simple. Treat your beautiful significant other to something at home, candles, flowers. Save a little bit of that money, spend a little bit more on her gift. Do it the right way.
She likes chocolate, she likes bath products, she likes all of that stuff.
But also, ladies, don't forget your husbands with some bacon roses.
Yeah, check these out. Now these haven't been cooked, so we can't eat them yet.
But beautiful bacon roses. You can get the roses, the shrimp, the steak. All of this is from Simon Market right here in town, and it's all local.
That's awesome.
So we're saving money, we're helping our communities, and it's wonderful to do. So little oil into a hot pan. Give it a little bit of a shake to get it coated. And we're gonna lay this beautiful steak right into our pan. Oh, I love that sizzle sound.
Hear the sizzle, hear the sizzle.
Love the sizzle sound.
Now, today we're gonna be using something that we made earlier on the KOAM Morning News,
Yes.
compound butter.
Yes, the compound butter from earlier's morning show is unfortunately setting up in the freezer, but I brought my preferred steak compound butter. It's the same herbs, but I add a little bit of garlic and I add a little bit of coriander into it and a little bit of jalapeno.
And if you want to see how we made that, you can easily go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Give us about 30 minutes to get that posted, and we will have that recipe and this segment up there as well.
So we've let it start to sear on one side. Now, most people, they try to rush cooking meats and proteins and stuff. Cast iron is very beautiful because when it's ready to turn over, it will actually let go of the pan.
Really?
So I'm just coming through and seeing it, making sure all my sides are ready to go. And as you can see, it's moving. So I'm gonna reach underneath, right in the middle, a nice, beautiful turnover.
About how many minutes on each side, do you think?
On a nice hot cast iron skillet, depending upon how you want your steak cooked. This one's been on here a minute, so it doesn't take very long. Cast iron gives you a nice, beautiful caramelization on the meat, so you don't have to worry about the appearance of it. But we're gonna get both sides a little bit of a sear. We're gonna put it over here to rest, and then we're gonna start doing the fun stuff.
All right, I'm looking forward to this.
The beauty of a steak is basting the steak. And I'm sure everybody's seen it on Mr. Food and on TV, where they're sitting there and they're tossing the butter over the top of the pan of the steak. It's the only way to do a steak inside. The only way to do it, because you get all those flavors. It's really nicely done. And yeah, you can throw anything in that pan. You can really pack some flavors in. So I'm just checking to make sure that I have some good caramelization all the way around. Make sure you do not grab your cast iron skillet without a towel or a hot pad. And we'll set this beautiful steak right here to rest.
And now, you're talking about letting it rest. What exactly does that mean?
I'm giving the juices a chance to soak back into the steak so that it doesn't rush, and it just helps keep your steak a little bit more juicy and viable.
Okay.
And then I'm taking right into our cast iron skillet and I'm putting in my compound butter and I'm moving it around to break up the fond, which is all the little niblets on the bottom of the pan where all the flavor is.
Behind, yep.
And I'm going to add until I'm sure I have more than enough butter in my pan.
Because it's Valentine's Day, why not splurge, right?
And I'm going to turn my heat down because it's not so much you're worried about cooking the steak, because the cast iron, why we use it, it holds on to that heat for a while. So I'm giving my butter a good chance to melt down. And see, it's a lot of butter, but you can smell all that beautiful goodness from the herbs this morning and the garlic. Oh, it smells so good in here.
Now, I understand some of your students saw you making this yesterday.
Yes, they
You had
did.
quite the reaction.
Oh, they loved it. Before I do a segment with you, I practice to make sure I can do it in the time allotment that you need.
Yeah.
So yesterday, for one of my classes, I actually started making one of these, and they all got to try it at the end. They left me a piece of steak about this big.
Aww.
So can't say that I blame them.
You know, our morning crew might do that too.
They're more than welcome to it this morning. And I'm taking some beautiful shrimp. And if you've ever bought shrimp, they go by size, like 1620s and 1618s and 1820s. That's how many shrimp per pound you get in a bag.
Okay.
And always use raw shrimp versus cooked shrimp, because you're not going to turn it to rubber. Overcooked shrimp turns to rubber. I'm sure everybody's had it with a bad shrimp cocktail. So just always use raw shrimp. Now I'm going to turn my pan up on the edge, and I'm just going to start taking this butter and start pouring it over everything. Letting everything get a little bit of the goodness.
Oh my, that looks delicious.
And this spoon belonged to my mother, and I got it from her when I moved into my house. And it's a nice oversized serving / tablespoon. And it's just one that I continue to use because it's so perfect for this. It keeps my hand far enough away from the heat source where I'm not hurting myself at all.
Find that favorite utensil you just want to keep using. This one has, you know, memories from your mom, too.
Exactly,
So
and
that's
cute
cool.
little shooting stars on the handle to remind me to keep shooting for the stars.
Aw, I love it.
So we're just going to continue to keep basting until everything starts to cook down and get all beautiful and wonderful inside. Tanya, how do you like your steak cooked?
I like mine medium rare.
Medium rare. That's beautiful.
Yep.
We can take care of that, no problem whatsoever.
Medium rare, or even a little bit redder than that. I don't mind.
I love a good steak, can't ever go wrong. Losing a little bit of heat.
Yeah.
But that's all right. That's why we use this. And we're going to turn our shrimp over ever so gently. We want to make sure both sides cook up nice and beautiful. See the pink coming through for your shrimp. Oh, look at that, gorgeous.
That looks amazing. What steps do we have left to do here?
We're going to finish basting it up, and then we're going to put it right on here to rest, and then straight onto the plate and set it up to be presented. And we'll be good to go.
Of course, the more you baste it, the juicier it's going to be.
And more flavors inside of it.
I have to tell you, Chef Anthony, you're going to be a lucky lady on Monday night, for sure. If you
Oh,
make her
yes.
this.
Well, I personally...
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with the ladies cooking for the men, too. That can happen just as easy.
And
The
I'm...
ladies cooking for ladies, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Whatever your significant other. And I always encourage my students, you know, learning to cook. Your significant other will always appreciate the fact that you can cook for them, especially if you don't do it all the time. You know, you cook a little bit here and there, but you don't do something fancy. You save the fancier stuff for the special occasions. But I, Monday, am doing mussels pasta.
Mussels pasta.
Yes, I'm going to do a pasta with mussels in it.
What would you pair this dish with for a side, like rice or pasta? Or?
I personally, when it comes to steak, I go straight mashed potatoes.
Ooh.
And if a trick with mashed potatoes is if you put them into a Ziploc bag and you cut the corner off the Ziploc bag, you can actually just turn the bag and squeeze out the mashed potatoes so you get this nice, beautiful little rope on the plate and lay it right next to the steak. Oh, it's so cute, so adorable. Everybody loves it.
You could make it in a heart shape, too.
Exactly. You can do whatever you want. And our steak and our shrimp are almost there. Look at how beautiful everything is. Look at all the color for the butter.
Yep, your shrimp's turning nice. A little bit of orange in it. And
Oh, yes. And then our steak. Oh, yes. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And we're going to turn our heat off. And move our steak over. We're actually going to put it onto the rack first.
the rack.
You want to
Okay.
put it onto the rack first so that everything that's on there can get a chance to kind of fall off. All that beautiful buttery, you want it to kind of roll and fall off the edges. And lay it out so it gets a chance to cool in the shape that you want it to be in. But we're going to take our shrimp and lay those right along the edge of our plate here.
again, this is all about the presentation. So how you present your dish for your significant other.
Yes.
Just kind of first appearances.
When you build something on a plate, it doesn't take any time, just a little bit of thought. See, I'm stacking up my shrimp, so I have a nice, beautiful stack on the side. Now my steak's rested. It looks gorgeous. I'm gonna lay it right onto my plate.
All right.
And lay a little bit of our compound butter right on top. And then I'm gonna start it melting.
Oh, I wondered why we have the torch out here. Now, you did talk to me about how you like to use the torch with the bacon
With the bacon roses, because I can hold them up and I can move them and kind of get them to look and open up exactly how I want them to be. But look how well that butter melts right down into that steak. So gorgeous, so creamy, and you're ready to go.
All right, and again, you can find how we made this recipe. What do you call it?
This is just a basted steak.
Just a basted steak with shrimp.
With shrimp.
On our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
We'll be right back.